Good morning, Capricorn. Cappy, Cappy, Cappy. I want to make you happy. You had a very heavy reading last week, and then you can see those cards here. Now, I was going to pull this card out to talk about this card, but no, the decks had other ideas. As I was doing like the pre-shuffles to get fresh energy, to get Capricorn energy into the decks, so many cards were like, no, we want to talk. We want to talk straight away. So I am going to do your full reading, and if you don't want to have this introduction message, you can skip straight to the main reading, the full reading. So there'll be a can't speak. There'll be a timestamp in the description box below, and you can click on that because I know Cappies, you're busy people, you've got a lot of work to do. So you can go and click on that link in the description box down below, that timestamp. It'll skip you straight to the full reading. So if this isn't resonating, feel free to go ahead and do that. I will not be offended. But clearly the cards have something to say to you here. Now, last 2 weeks ago, the last Capricorn reading I did really stuck with me because it was such a unique and interesting story, and then this kind of theme from that Capricorn reading has kind of been coming back through. It's kind of been like a percolating theme. Now the reading that I did was Capricorn energy. It wasn't a specific Capricorn reading, so it is this kind of like running theme throughout a lot of the readings at the moment, especially this week. Now on Sundays I don't do any readings at all unless I feel like I need to do one for myself or I'm called to kind of play with the cards, but because I don't do a reading, I tend to get a lot of messages, a lot of kind of like things that set me up for the week. It tends to be like a strong day where I get a lot of info. And did I get a lot of info this Sunday? So I was planning on sort of like divvying it up and sort of doing a bit for each sign. So I will talk a little bit about what I wanted to say for you. But if you want the full kind of mega message, it all came out in Libra's reading this week. So you can go back and watch that Libra video. Yeah, that'll be like the full story. But I'll just kind of give you your little bit. So the message that I was getting through, and there's a lot of classical culture in this, so kind of put whatever your excuse me, my throat closed up then, that was really weird. It was like, no, I don't want you to speak. Put your upbringing aside, put your traditions, your beliefs aside for a second. I mean, we're just going to look at this objectively as like classical culture. So the classical idea is when people die, like we do have this death card here. This is the first card that came out today. It was the first deck I was shuffling, first card that came out. So this is a mega theme this week. Don't panic. It doesn't mean anything's going to happen to your loved ones. It means it's talking about people who have already passed over at the moment. It doesn't always even mean death, but in this case, in this message, it is talking about people who have passed over, and the process of death. And in classical culture, what happens sometimes, there's a lot of different variations. They were really trying to figure things out and had a lot of ideas floating around. But what I'm getting is this idea of going down into the underworld, passing through the river Leith. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. And as you pass through this river, it wipes away all your memories, any emotional pain from your previous life, along with it. And then you come out to the other side of the river and you are fresh and clean and ready to start your next life with no memories of your past lives. Now, it was giving me this theme of water, which I was going to talk about in Scorpio's reading, but it keeps coming out. So this idea of if waters can take memories away, water can hold memories too. So you can access memories by drinking water. If you think about the water cycle, it passes... the water that's in the world is always in the world. It always has been, and it will be until, I don't know, the apocalypse happens, right? The water that I drink today could be the same water that you drink in 10 years. You know, it could pass through that water cycle. Oh, sorry, pass through. That wasn't the right way to phrase that, was it? Oh, that's really funny. The ocean that I swim in today could be the lake that you swim in tomorrow, because the water moves around the world. So if you think about it in these terms, it's quite a philosophical way of water carrying memories, carrying sort of remembering everything that's ever happened in the world, because we all have water in our bodies, right? What, we've like 70% water. So this water that's kind of lived all these different lives and travelled around the world and seen so many things, and yeah, so there's this kind of, it is very philosophical, but like I say, we've got that death card there and the devil card next to each other. That only just clicked for me. Now I'll come back to this, but the next thing that I wanted to go to, no, actually I am going to talk about the devil, because the devil in classical culture doesn't exist, not in the Christian sense. What we have in classical culture is Hades, Dispater, Pluto, depending on which culture you're going with. And kind of, if we take kind of the mythology of this persona, he's very, very grave. He's very, very serious. He has a job to do. He's not anything like the portrayal of like the devil in modern culture. He's got a job to do. He was given the job to do. Him and his two brothers, the three of them, they divvied up the sky, the seas, and the underworld. And it's like, right, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for that. And he got the underworld. It's his job, right? He's got to do what he's got to do. So he's doing all this, and his other job is no, I should say, actually, they want me to say what they're being next to this death card. So he's doing a job, he's doing a task that's necessary. And in a lot of classical myths, the souls kind of recycle. They go down into the underworld. They do whatever penance they have to do. If you've done terrible things in your life, you have some kind of punishment down there. But after that period of punishment is over, you go through the processes to different places. You go through the fields of Elysium, and eventually, if you go with Plato's myth of you choose a new life. You choose kind of like a predestined life. So there's a story of Odysseus, who was a great warrior, a great fighter, and he got to choose first. And I think he chose the life of like a poor man. He was like, no, I just want a simple, quiet life this time. So it's this idea of like the souls going around, choosing different rites of passage, and this idea of like soul growth, so yeah, that is good that I talked about that. Actually, there's a reason I was talking about that. So one of the jobs of Hades, Dispater, Pluto, is to put riches into the earth, to put minerals into the earth. Oh no, I just wanted to say that sometimes death comes as a relief, right? If you've had a hard life, if you're in a lot of pain, if you if you're in a place where you're in a lot of pain, and I am not condoning anyone take their own life, absolutely 100% not. If you're in that position, go and get help. Just go and speak to someone, okay? You'll feel a lot better after doing it, or maybe you won't, but you might pick up ideas of how to cope, how to get a bit further. Please don't do that. Yeah, I felt like I really had to clarify that. We're on earth to learn lessons, and sometimes those lessons are painful, but the universe doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Keep going, okay? So yeah, but think about somebody who's very, very old. They've lived a good life, but they've got painful memories. Perhaps they've lost a lot of their friends and family. They're in a lot of pain, and perhaps death in that situation could be seen as a kindness, because then they get to go down and be with their friends and family in the fields of Elysium, right? Or wherever, we're talking classical culture, but whatever you believe happens after death. And they're relieved of that pain, that physical pain. So yeah, it's not an evil thing, is what I think I'm trying to get at, and neither is the devil if we're talking classical culture. He's actually a lot less bad than Zeus if you read the myths. He gets a really bad rap, poor Hades. So anyway, one of his jobs is putting minerals in the earth, putting precious gems in the earth, putting nutrients in the earth. So you can see with this card here, the kind of root system of this tree. So it's drawing up the water, it's drawing up the minerals from the earth, from the underworld, right? So there's this association coming through with with trees, yes, mostly specifically trees, sort of like foliage in general, of because they suck up this water, they suck up these nutrients from the earth, and they stand for such a long time. You know, some trees are hundreds and hundreds of years old. It's like, what have they seen? What do they know? Sort of seeing trees as kind of like this ancestral, this representation of ancestral knowledge, right? So you may find that being around trees is like very, very calming for you. It's very like you feel very grounded. You know, maybe if life's getting a bit crazy, maybe you're overwhelmed, going out for a walk in the woods, you may feel like very, very comfortable with the trees around you, very familiar. You may almost feel like your ancestors supporting you. Now, I was getting the song Feed the Tree by Belly, specifically the lines, take your hat off, boy, when you're talking to me, be there when I feed the tree. Now, again, take your hat off, boy, when you talk to me. Is this like, it's almost like the voice of an older male, right? Take your hat off, boy, when you're talking to me. It's like a traditional thing. I'm from a time where to show someone respect, you take your hat off, you know? So it's this idea of like traditional customs, traditional expectations, the expectations of your ancestors. That's too many messages. I'm going to have to try and pick them one by one. So there may be someone around you who is like this emperor figure, this father figure, somebody who's been around for a very, very long time, possibly someone who's not old, but they've got an old soul, you know, a lot of kind of intuitive spiritual knowledge. They just seem to know a lot about the world and the way people act. But perhaps there's also someone who's of an older generation who has very, very sort of rigid ideas and expectations and traditions, that perhaps they're putting those expectations onto you. You feel like, sort of again, going back to classical culture, this idea of the cursus honorum. The Romans were very much about ancestors, and living up to your ancestors' achievements, living up to your ancestors' expectations. There was a lot of weight on people's shoulders to do that. So you had things like the poets who would break off and be like, no, I'm going to be a poet. So Ovid, the love poet, and his comparisons with love being like warfare. Yeah, okay, I won't go on about Ovid. He's my favourite poet. I could go on about him for hours. So yeah, where was I going? I went off on a tangent. So going back to take your hat off, boy, when you talk to me, feed the tree. There was something else there, but I've lost it. I can't remember what it was. It'll come back if it's meant to come back. But the second thing, be there when I feed the tree. Now, somebody, and this might be quite a specific message, but somebody may have a tree that they associate with somebody who's passed over. So it may be that you spread the ashes around this tree. It may be that one of your ancestors planted this tree. So this idea of like the living still kind of going and paying their respects to this tree, either like going there, laying flowers, tending the land, watering the tree, right? Tying ribbons to the tree, they're showing me. Yeah, something to do with like an ancestral tree, or yeah, trees and ancestors. It may be that someone's grave is under a tree. I'm not sure. Something else there, but I can't quite. There was something coming through, I can't remember it. Yeah, so that's kind of the end of the tree message, and that's literally the only card I wanted to talk about, and it's giving me all this other stuff. Was it something to do with classics again? I can't remember. It'll come back if it's meant to. So moving along from the Death and the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune. I do feel like the Wheel of Fortune is playing a role here for you at the moment, or for the people who are coming to these readings and connecting with this kind of very, very philosophical story, right? I don't know, I was going to do readings for fun. I was like, oh, it'll be fun, do tarot readings on the internet. And you know, my guides, they had other ideas, like we're going to talk about death and the devil and the underworld and classical philosophy and Plato. It's like, all right, okay, I'll just go with it, whatevs, I'll do as I'm told. It's my own fault for copying that Fleabag meme where she's in the church in the confessional and she's going, I just want someone to tell me what to do. Because I've made fun of that scene so many times. The universe is like, right, we're here, we're coming in, we're telling you what to do. And just do as you're told. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Makes my life easier. I'll just go with it. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hand of Fate. I feel like very, very heavily at the moment, I feel like ancestors are supporting you. That's what I wanted to say. I'm really glad I remembered it. It wasn't from here, it's something else. So feeling like fate is coming in for you, destiny is at play here. Your ancestors are kind of your spirit guides. They're kind of around you very, very strongly at the moment, sort of leading you on the correct path. They're trying to kind of fix something that was wrong, like fix something was wrong on your journey. It may be because the devil card's here. It may be that you were indulging too much in something that was bad for you, or that there was something that was, you were under the control of something that that was keeping your soul, preventing your soul from growing. My heart just tugged so strongly then. So yeah, fate's coming in here. It's spinning the wheel. It's I've got my little red string on. Actually, it's quite funny that this card's come out today. So yeah, what they wanted me to say quite clearly is that now our ancestors, our spiritual ancestors, do not necessarily have to be direct family members. We have like soul contracts with certain people, people who are destined to meet, people who we feel very, very comfortable with, very supported by. People who come into our lives for a reason, right? And we've probably lived our lives with them or met them many, many times before. If we're talking past life regression here, and we're talking about that kind of belief system. And again, if that's not your belief system, absolutely fine. Just think of it as a academic way of a belief system that some people have. If you come into these tarot readings, though, you probably do have at least an inkling towards spiritualism and an openness to other people's beliefs, other ideas. So yeah, so whatever happens to us after we die, if our soul lives on, these souls are a soul family who, the ones that are on the other side, come in to support you. My ear is ringing, my left ear is ringing. I don't know if that's significant to anyone. My heart pulled. Yeah, so it's maybe people you've not even met in this lifetime, but they're your soul tribe and they're looking after you from the other side. So this is like, I don't know, there are people in my life who are not direct family, but they feel like family to me. And it's that kind of thing, people you feel like that kind of bond with, that's yeah, because you cannot get on with your family members, we can't choose which family we're born into, and sometimes that's part of our soul growth, that's part of our development. The lessons that we need to learn is being in close proximity, is having these ties to someone who is designed to provoke us, designed to make us act, where we sit in our comfort zone if it wasn't for these people who were like aggravating us, right? So yeah, that's kind of what was coming through with that. Now the Empress card came out and you have got the Emperor here, so you could identify as an Emperor or an Empress or both, because it's balancing the yin and yang energy within you. But it's quite nice to have the Emperor and Empress on the same spread. And Sagittarius was reading yesterday. Oh my goodness, if you're into love stories, if you're identifying as the Emperor or the Empress here, you may want to go and watch that Sag reading, because it was like Romeo and Juliet in card form. It was beautiful. And I said beautiful way too many times during that reading. But yeah, this is really like sitting, could be a mother or father that's passed over, or a mother-father figure that's passed over, grandparents, that are supporting you, because the Emperor and the Empress, they are figures of authority. They're kind of older energies, but they're also a perfect match. So this could be two people who kind of are a perfect match when they're in their kind of, it's like final form. They're giving me like is it Yu-Gi-Oh? Or like Pokemon as well, where the Pokemon evolve into their final form, right? You know, like these are the Me Too's of the tarot. Like when you've lived that many lives that you're kind of an old soul and you've learned all the lessons there are to learn, and you, yeah. Oh, that's the other message that I wanted to give you, because you're Capricorns, your Earth energy, right? And I find that the further on you get through the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces, the kind of more of a the more the signs seem to become aware of the society around them, the people that are around them, the more sort of supportive the signs get of others. You know, Pisces, not, yeah, no, Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces, yeah, are known for being, Sagittarius too, are known for being really quite passionate about causes, and being really quite humanitarian signs. So I do feel like the more you get through the zodiac, the more soul growth you tend to have had. Aries are kind of like the babies of the zodiac, right? They just do what they want to do. But yeah, so I don't know. There's this idea of like the Emperor and the Empress being these kind of people who feel a real sense of responsibility to others. They are very, very aware of the people around them, and they look to ways that they can support others, whether that be giving them opportunities so that they can go on their own soul journey, whether that be, you know, reaching out the branches and protecting those underneath them. Very, very nurturing, sort of parental energy that a lot of Capricorns do have. You know, I'm thinking about my auntie, she's a Capricorn. I'm sure she was Capricorn. She's like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day she was born on. And she's this kind of like caring, sort of like it's not humanitarian, but this kind of protectiveness comes through in her. She loves animals, specifically dogs, and she does dog training. So yeah, that's kind of her thing. She's got this like need to care for dogs and to train them and develop them. So it's that kind of Capricorn energy coming through. Yeah, it's nice. So however that kind of plays out for you, and there will be something, even if you're not quite sure what that is yet. So over here we've got some kind of wish or some kind of healing that's being done. I am seeing it as a wish because it's next to the prayer card. So something that you've wished for, or it could be like prayers as in spiritual healing, healing if you've lost someone, praying, yeah. Or what I'm actually seeing though is that you've made some kind of wish, and this could be on purpose, or it could be subconscious. You know, like not even realizing you're doing it, but sort of daydreaming about what your perfect life would be, where you want your life to go, who would be your perfect partner, these kind of things. And it's like, this is a wish, this is a prayer, and the universe is here. They've heard you. Your ancestors, I'm going to cry again. Your ancestors have heard you, and they're turning the wheel now. It's like, yeah, wish granted. Okay, now we're going to get weird now, and I'm not going to go into this too much. I'm just going to show you the 3 cards that came out. But you have the Treasure. Now, I did see the Treasure Island card quite a lot for Sagittarius. If you're on the cusp of Sagittarius, Capricorn, that might be for you. So some kind of Treasure Island. What's the treasure? Is the Ark of the Covenant. What? Spiritual knowledge. And then how are you going to access that knowledge? Through a muse. Hey, it's me. I'm your muse. No, I might not be. It might be through music, through poetry, whatever way you access this kind of, through meditation, however you access this kind of spiritual knowledge, which is your treasure. The King of Scrolls may be helpful to you. So this is someone who's a good communicator. It can be a bit of a planner. It could be you. It's kind of very earthy energy. Oh, look at that, what's underneath as well. Loving elementals, children. Yeah, again, this idea of ancestry. Look at all the trees on that card as well. Yeah, and the water, the running water. So it ties in exactly to what I was saying. I didn't see the, oh my goodness, and the lightning bolt striking a tree. Yeah, so that could literally be like a sudden moment of realization regarding something to do with your ancestry, to do with traditional beliefs and systems, traditions, culture, thought patterns. There may be something coming in here and shaking that up for you, making you think about things differently. It almost looks like there's a tidal wave coming in here as well. It may be that someone is in a position of power, is about to be removed from a position of power. Again, you've got the same imagery on that card. Archangel Raphael, this is someone who's like an angel in spiritual, like an angel in human form, coming to help you, coming to offer assistance. Okay, I'm going to stop pulling cards now. The last one that I wanted to show you has been haunting me. Now, I only recently got this pack. I only got it a couple of weeks ago, the Vice Versa Tarot. So I'm still getting to know it. I haven't even seen all the cards yet. But constantly, and I think it came out in someone's reading. I can't remember whose reading it was now. But ever since I've seen it that first time, they keep showing it me. Every time I shuffle, it's there. Every time I pick the deck up, it's on the bottom of the deck. It's constantly there. And it does make me think of Capricorn, because it's got this kind of like Satyr. Satyr, is that how I pronounce it? I know a fair bit about classical culture, but I don't know how to pronounce anything. It's terrible. So it kind of gives me Aries energy too, because of that like ram's head, but it almost looks like a goat head too. So yeah, it gives me Capricorn Aries energy. It's the Four of Wands. It's like marriage, happy marriage, or celebrating with your community and like dancing off into the sunset. I like that card. But yeah, that was, again, as I shuffled that deck, put it down, that was there. So it could very, very well be you've got an Emperor and an Empress here. You could be on the cusp of Sagittarius, or have Sagittarius strongly in your chart, or Libra strongly in your chart as well, because all this came out in Libra's reading. I'm not seeing Libra here though. I'm seeing Aquarius, Aries, Taurus, Capricorn, Scorpio, Capricorn, Libra. Oh, we do have Libra, Taurus, Libra. Yeah, okay. So I hope that was helpful to someone, or at least, sorry, that's me just playing like the drums on my legs. Yeah, I hope that was helpful to someone. I hope someone got something from that. Even if it wasn't your specific reading, perhaps it made you think, perhaps it introduced you to new ideas that you might want to go and look up. Again, the main thing coming through there was Plato's The Myth of it's E-R-R, I think it's spelled. If you did want to go and look that up, I'll pop that. I'll just make a note of that now, and I can pop that in the description box. Plato, Myth of but the reason it does seem like a continuation of that other Capricorn reading I did, which was talking about somebody who kind of went down. It was almost like they travelled into the underworld, but I was seeing it more as like they really took a deep dark look at their shadow side, really delved deep into kind of their emotional baggage, and gone through quite a painful process of healing. But in there, while they were really deep in that darkness, it's like someone else was going through the same journey, and someone else came down there, found them in the darkness, and led them back out. So you could be one person or the other person there, but it was like these two people who'd done this really deep shadow work. And again, you've got the Emperor and the Empress there again. So I don't know, I can't remember where I was going with that. It's too much information at the moment in my head. It's getting quite hard to process it and explain it in a kind of linear fashion. Sorry, see my sweaty knees there in the corner of the reading. No one needs to see my sweaty knees. And you'll see how weirdly I sit on the floor as well. I sit with my legs, I don't sit cross-legged. Well, I do sometimes, but normally I sit with my legs to either side. I remember in school sitting on the playing field and people making fun of me for the way I sit on the floor. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I've got weird bendy legs and weird bendy fingers. I was talking about this the other day as well. I can bend my fingers back. I mean, I can't do it very well on camera because I'm at a bit of a funny angle, but yeah, my fingers bend back the wrong way. And anyway, it's just gone off on a tangent. So I'll pop these away. I'm going to pause the video. Here comes Capricorn's beepy truck. We always get a beepy truck on Capricorn readings. So it's perfect time, right, to bob my cards away. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, actually. So I'm going to put them in sort of higgledy-piggledy throughout the deck, so they're not next to each other. So if they do come out next to each other again in the reading, we know that kind of the Spirit's definitely intended that to happen. And I'm going to give everything a really good shuffle. I'm going to wait for the beeps to stop. I'm going to tune into the Capricorn energy so that I get the best possible reading for you that's going to do the most amount of good. And then we're going to get going. I will see you in a couple of seconds. Wibbly wobbly tiny me wimey actually, because it's going to be a couple of seconds for you, but it's going to be several minutes for me. Interesting concept. Right, okay, I'm going. Bye. Just had to show you. The cards are being crazy. As I split the deck, so I sort of split the deck into three. That card again is showing itself to me. It's all the time it's there looking at me. So yeah, I split the deck. Those cards fell off, and that card was there again. I just see it all the time. But I wanted to mention that. Also, as I was shuffling this deck up here, I kind of finished shuffling, like I kind of finished shuffling. The card on the bottom, I've just moved my hand over here so I can show you this. The card on the bottom kind of flew away and revealed the Ten of Cups. The thing that flew away was the Ten of Wands. So what that's telling me is that when you put down your burdens, that will lead you to your happiness. That's the message that came through with that. Now, when I was shuffling this deck, the same thing happened. I did my shuffle. The bottom card flew off. It was the Hierophant, and underneath the Hierophant was the Lovers. Is that the Lovers? It's the Lovers. Unbelievable. The Hangman. So the Hangman again is looking at things from a new perspective. So what this is telling me, those two decks together and what happened together there, is that the Hierophant is about your belief system, your traditions, your culture, the kind of established patterns that you have been taught, the rules, the social rules that you've been taught through generations. I feel like with the Hangman there, you're looking at things in a new way, and you're looking at things from a new perspective. And when you release the expectations of your ancestors, those traditions that you have been given, they're not your traditions, they are the traditions that you have been taught. If you look into your soul, you'll know what is right for you and what isn't right for you. But if you release the traditions of your ancestors, if you look at things from a new perspective, that's going to lead you to the Lover's card, which is a union. It's a sexual union with someone. So yeah, so it's almost like sexual liberation and happiness will come when you put down the burdens of your ancestors. Now, that's not for me to tell you to do. That's quite a big... I just split the deck. And it was the Devil card. Yeah, it's like... Look, and it's the same two people on the... do you know, why am I even trying to do a reading today? They're just telling me what they want to tell me at the moment. And look at the similarity between those two cards. So the Devil card, it's a Capricorn card, but it can be to do with... it can be to do with... something that's very controlling in your life. Okay, so the Hierophant and the Devil card together to me would be like very controlling kind of ancestors, controlling parents, controlling like the community around you. If it's like a church community, it could be a job, something that's you feel very, very chained to, very, very tethered to, something that's very controlling in your life. But then the Lover's card, you can see that's more spiritual, it's more divinely guided, it's got an angel there, and these two people are holding hands. They're no longer chained, they're no longer shamed by their sexuality. Why has it gone so blurry? What's that about? What is that about? That's weird. So they're no longer... Hello? I said hello and it's like the devil's waving hi. Hi there. So I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to fix that in a second, but for now. So no longer chained to, no longer shamed by their sexuality, no longer shamed by their sexual feelings, right? By the bodies that God gave them, and God wants them. What's underneath that? The High Priestess. No longer shamed by the bodies that God gave them. It's like being able to go back to the Garden of Eden and stand in pride and love and respect for the wonderful thing that being a human is. Okay, they're still kind of wearing the masks. I hope that they take the masks off. Again, it's like yin and yang, right? Black and white, yin and yang, male, female. So yeah, I don't know. You do what you want to do. You do whatever you want to do. It's not my place to tell you. But I'm going to fix my camera. I'm going to finish shuffling, and we're going to get back into the full reading. I can't with this. I just split the deck again, and it was the Lovers and the High Priestess. Like, I can't make it up. Oh, and when I first shuffled that deck, the first card that I saw on the bottom was the Empress card. It's just, the cards are so bossy today. It's because it's Capricorn energy. They're so bossy. Okay, here we go. I did forget to mention that you had 2 other songs. Oh, as I was sort of just tuning in there to the energies, that Feed the Tree song was going on again. Particularly something about throwing the bike down the stairs. I know all this and more. Yeah, and they were the kind of lines that were playing for me there. The other 2 songs were I Will Give You Blue. I need to look up who sang that, but I'll put it in the description box below. And the line specifically from that was, I can't stop the rain, but I can keep you dry. And I've got lovely blue skies today as well. But I wanted the rain yesterday. We had a thunderstorm finally that cleared a bit of that humidity out of the air. But that song is lovely, and it's not talking about skies really, is it? It's talking about I can't stop challenges presenting themselves to you in life, but I can support you when those things happen to you. That's the message of that song. And then I've gone really weird and tingly. And then the other song was Wicked Game, and it's the version by, I don't know if it's pronounced Him or H-I-M. It's all capital letters. Wicked Game by Him. And the lines were, and I don't want to fall in love with you. And I was getting, I'm only going to break your heart. But it's, I don't want to fall in love with you. Only gonna break your heart. I don't know how, yeah. And then the other line was, I never dreamed I'd meet somebody like you. So if this is you contemplating whether or not you should go for someone in love, I think you're the only person who can make that decision. And I think you should make the decision that's going to make you happy and not worry about looking after everybody else, like that big emperor tree or empress tree. I think that you should choose whoever's going to make you happy. Cappy, 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 I want you to be happy. So let's get on with your reading. I'm going to do your heart space, your head space, your action space, past, present, future. I'm going to get what needs to change for you, and I'm going to get an advice card. But first of all, I'm going to pull from the archetypes deck, and we're going to get kind of like an overall sense of what we can expect from this reading. So what have we got going on here? In the underline, we've got the castle, which is quite fun. Interesting. It's like I'm going to show you that. I'm sort of being guided to actually talk about this. It's kind of giving me Rapunzel, like Rapunzel in her castle. There's the rose there symbolising love. She's got her eyes closed. It's like she's lay there sleeping, waiting for a prince to come and kiss her and wake her up. The riddle. Oh, and shaman. Okay. The riddle of life. The riddle of the universe, the answer to the universe, 42. Trying to figure something out, really puzzling over something. It's like your mind's going in circles and tying itself in knots because you're trying to figure this thing out. Now, the thing with the riddle card is that it's a card about knowing and not knowing. It's a card about truth and untruth and everything existing at once. So it's like when I first started at university, they were talking, I think it was a quote, but I can't remember who it was by, but it was this concept of if you don't have much of an education, especially if you look at like teenagers, right, they know a little bit about the world, they've got a little bit of an education, but they kind of think that not all teenagers, you know, but as a kind of like as a kind of a generalization of the things that we go through, the stages of life we go through, teenagers are kind of like I know everything there is about the world. I know everything I need to know. I'm so clever. I know this thing about this. I learnt this at school. I know everything. But they don't. They just don't have that much life experience. They've not broadened their horizons enough to know that there's so much out there, right? They think they've been taught everything there is to know. And kind of as the older that you get and the more you learn, so they was talking about the university and saying that the more you learn, the more you access, the more you realise there is that you don't know. So this is knowing and not knowing at the same time, truth and untruth. And it's kind of like saying Stop going around in circles trying to figure this out, and use your soul. What does your soul tell you? Now I've got some notes on the shaman. I wonder what I said about it, because it was linked to kind of the ongoing messages that have been coming through this week. I'm just going to see if I can find my notes on that one. Here we go. So there's sorry, I don't know if it's shaman or shaman. So this stage in your life, this process, it comes after study. So you study first, which is the mentor card, and it comes after you've healed yourself, done the healing work, done that shadow work, which I feel like a lot of you have actually gone through, going off that last reading. So you've studied, you've healed your inner self, and then you get the shaman, and the quote that I've got is, who has a knack for finding doorways to other worlds. They bridge the gap, they act as a channel. Okay, so also this stone, I got a full reading here, so I feel like, again, this is coming through as appropriate for your reading. So it's this idea of like trying to figure something out, going around in circles, but coming to an understanding that everything and nothing exist at the same time, that everything is truth and nothing is truth. Going sort of really going into a more, rather than trying to work things out in a very logical 3D tangible sense, really kind of like opening up to the universe, to this higher knowledge, to this spiritual knowledge, trusting your instincts, finding this this gem, whatever this gem represents to you. I see it as your core self, right? Your real true self at the heart of your soul. And it's almost like this frees you now, because you can see this is almost like a snake going round and round and round and round in circles. But as soon as you open yourself up to the possibilities, open yourself up to the universe and say, like, I'm like a vessel, like, fill me with knowledge. Stop trying to figure it out yourself, just let the knowledge come to you. And this frees you, this frees the snake, this allows the snake to kind of move on to its destiny. I also noticed that it's got these 3 skulls on its back, so it may be that 3 people have passed over who are protecting you, who are acting as your spiritual protectors. You know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine. It's kind of like this person's reaching out. You can see all the hands reaching out. So I feel this is you really trying to reach some kind of spiritual truth, reach some kind of they're telling me core values, something to do with core values. I'm not going to tell you that full reading because that was kind of a personal one for me, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you need to know from here. But yeah, it may be dreams. You may be getting a lot of dreams that, you know, if you're trying to figure something out in your day-to-day, and Capricorn, you're an earth sign, you're a very grounded, very practical sign, right? You like to get things done. You like to have the information before you make a decision. You like to know that you are it's like kind of ticking all the boxes. But you've hit some kind of puzzle, right? This riddle that is it's confusing the heck out of you, because it's not something that you can like read a book on. It's not something that you can get facts on and figures. It's something very like esoteric, is that the right word? Something very fluid and hard to grasp. It's not something you can like actually get hold of. It's like conceptual. I think that's frustrating you quite a lot, and you're really figuring out, how do I grasp this? You don't. Okay, stop trying so hard. Let it go. Give it to the universe. The universe will guide you. Be open to the universe. Be open to any messages that might be trying to come through for you, because you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. Trust your instincts. Look to your dreams. When you daydream, what messages are coming through for you? Okay. So moving swiftly on, because it's going to be, again, one of the longest readings in history. I think I might actually run out of video space if I'm not careful. It's saying I've got about 35 minutes left, so let's get our move on. So can I get past heart space, please, for Capricorn? Too many cards. No, actually, it's only 2. Page of Cups. Okay, you are no longer hearing the siren's call. You're coming out of the cave. Didn't I call your other reading the cave? After that Mumford and Sons song, where it's saying, I won't hear the siren's call. I'll know my voice when it's called again. So you're no longer listening to something that was a siren's call for you. She's literally a siren. Look at her kind of luring people in. And she's got all these skulls there as well. So is this someone like Page of Cups? No longer, like, if someone's offering you love, right, someone's coming to you with some kind of offer of love, friendship, something to do with emotions here with you and another person, but this person is like a siren, okay, it just leads to your downfall. You're going to crash up on those rocks, but you're no longer hearing the siren's call. This Five of Wands, like, look at these two people. It's like, no, I'm done with this, I'm done with this. It's like two people having a breakup, right? The sort of, it looks like a breakup. I can't see it as anything else. This Five of Wands is some kind of like a conflict, an argument, a disagreement. It can be competition, but I'm particularly reading it as there is something for you or someone for you who was like a siren's call, and you're breaking away from it in your heart space, or you just knew that you had to. In your heart, you knew that you had to. With it being in the reverse as well, really feeling like, yeah, moving away spiritually as well. There's a lot of purple. Something I feel that got you sucked into your emotions, something that made you really, really emotional. Like losing control of your emotions because of this connection here, or someone who was over emotional. You can see he's disappointed in the situation, but she's really looking she almost looks like she might jump, right? She's clouds. I'm noticing the clouds, some kind of clouded judgment, over emotional. Siren's call. Purple seems to be very, very important actually in a lot of readings at the moment. Really noticing the purple colours. You may want to get some purple crystals, like some purple candles. Purples are to do with spirituality, and this is the third time I've given this message this week. Okay, so current heart space for you, strength. Oh my goodness, yes, this is why you're no longer hearing the siren's call, because something strengthened in your heart space, something strengthened for you to do with emotions, feelings. You found some kind of, I'm seeing it as resistance, some kind of strength to resist something. Can you see how she's got her back turned to all this? He's got his back turned, she's got her back turned, and she's moving forward with this lion. It's like an inner strength, either an inner strength or someone in your life who's kind of like supporting you, who gives you that strength. Because it's that story, there's quite a lot of stories about for example, like the mouse that pulls the thorn out of the lion's paw, and then they kind of like become friends. I think there's one about a girl and a lion, and you can go and Google all these stories. They're all on Wikipedia. But yeah, there's a story specifically about a girl and a lion. So I feel like that one's probably the one for you, but I can't quite remember it off the top of my head. Temple, yeah, it's like spiritual healing. Look at the temple in the background. Yeah. And all these like, can you see all these like, she's got an infinity symbol on her arm. So this is something that's going to be with you forever now. This strength that came out of this situation, this personal healing, that's a lesson learned. If we're talking about like reincarnation, reincarnating over and over and over again to learn lessons, right? Lesson learned. You've upgraded. You've spiritually ascended. You've learnt a lesson, and that's with you forever now. That's your soul lesson. And I'm noticing these like petals falling away, and that's almost like some kind of love or friendship there that you've walked away from. These petals have fallen. Future heart space, please. Future heart space for Cappy. Please make Cappy happy. What can we get there? The moon. Okay. So, again, you may still be feeling really kind of emotional here. The moon is a very, very emotional card. It's doesn't mean you're over emotional like this over here. It just means that you're really tuning into your emotions, really, like I was saying with this shaman card, really trusting your intuitions, really kind of going with your instincts, trusting your gut, tuning into your the spiritual energies around you that are trying to guide you, because there's something that's not seen, there's something that you don't know with this moon card. The moon card can be about secrets or things that are unseen. So if there's something that you don't know about, there's something that you're unseen, you're trusting your gut, you're trusting your heart, You're trusting your feelings about it. It's like, I don't know what to do in this situation. What are my feelings telling me I should do? Not my head, my feelings. So it's good that the moon is in your heart space. That's good. That's healthy. It's what, your heart's doing what it should be doing. I also see this as kind of like almost like a rebirth, a cocoon. You can see she's almost got a butterfly shape here on a corset. It's like emerging from a cocoon. It's like the way her shoulders are sort of peeling out of that dress. It's like that dress looks really, really heavy. And again, I'm getting this sense of like, look at all the choppy water as well behind her, and this like temple. It's like you're walking to the temple and then you're in the temple. They're giving me going to the chapel and we're going to get married. Yeah, okay, I don't want to write it down. I don't want to kind of break my flow because I'm in something here. So that dress is very, very, very heavy looking. It's like that dress represents all the weight and burdens of the expectations that your ancestors have upon you, the community around you, the weight that they have on you. It's like being forced into that dress. They're showing me Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean, where she's wearing that dress and it's so tight and she starts to faint and then she falls off the castle. We had that castle card, right? I'm going to flip that over. She falls off like the castle walls, doesn't she, into the ocean. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's relevant for you somehow, but that's what they're showing me. Okay, interesting. Right, in the underline you've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is normally a card about working with other people, but this person's working on their own, and they kind of have connected to something that's some kind of spiritual knowledge there that's helping them to get through something alone. Perhaps you're learning some new skills. I don't know. Temperance on the bottom there, patience in a situation. Okay, what do we have, please? Oh, thank you for Cappy's past thoughts. The Magician. Okay, this is you making your dreams a reality. You're figuring out how to make your own dreams come true, and you're taking practical steps to do it. The Magician card, this is someone who's it's like the Shaman card as well. It's very, very similar energies. This is someone who is acting as a go-between between the tangible world, the 3D world, the practical world, and the spiritual world, the universe, the divine. Again, I see it very much as grounding wishes, making dreams come true, taking something that is that's kind of 5D. It's not 3D and tangible. It's kind of like up there. It's like an idea or a dream or a wish or a concept. Like someone, like, yeah, like we had that wish card, didn't we? The star card. Like taking these ideas and actually turning them into something tangible and practical that you can hold and grasp. And he has all the tools and all the knowledge to do it. So again, with that Three of Pentacles, he's got the kind of spiritual knowledge and he's got the practical knowledge. He can do this and he can do it on his own. Or she. Okay. Queen of Swords. Yeah, I thought so. I hadn't actually specifically started thinking for this. I was still thinking about this, doing it on your own, and I was sort of saying he or she. So this could be, you could be one of these people. You could be one person dealing with another person. Take it whichever way it works for you, or you could be. This could be two people, or it could be. These are both you. So the Queen of Wands is someone who, she's probably cutting something out. This is the Queen of Wands cutting something out up here. Being very practical, taking action on something here. I'm sort of reading the two cards together. Sorry about that truck noise. Being practical, taking action, communicating something. Really, like, yeah, she's really taking action there. She's holding her truth high, holding that sword high. But you can see that she's not swinging it around and being nasty. She's doing something in a very, very kind way. Whatever this was for you, I feel like possibly a breakup. Either a breakup or like letting a friendship go. Something there that you're letting go, cutting out of your life, walking away from, because I feel like it wasn't healthy for you. It was the siren's call for you, and now you're actually working on making your dreams happen. This could be someone that you're connecting with who's a very good communicator, very logical, has a lot of perhaps spiritual knowledge. You can see how like there's a light sort of shining around a crown and third eye chakra. Someone who's very truthful, very honest, can be a little bit blunt, but I see her as being quite a kind Queen of Swords. Quite a caring Queen of Swords there. We've got a lot of ocean in the background. She's got an ocean in the background there. She's not in her emotions. She's absolutely not in her emotions. She's like, she's too logical to be like swimming around in those emotions. But then like there in the background there as well. Okay, so can I actually get a card please for the current thoughts please for Capricorn? Current thoughts for Capricorn. I'm very aware of the time. I've got 25 minutes left. Oh, there's the Temperance card. Yeah, you're being really, really patient. We've got story time. Being really, really patient about something. I feel like there's a situation where it's something you're passionate about, something that's emotionally fulfilling for you. You're looking at someone else's cup and you want these emotions to come and fill your cup. It's kind of like fire and water and air. Yeah, but really needing to temper yourself to be balanced in a situation, to be patient about something. A Page of Cups. So I feel like this is a different Page of Cups. This is a new Page of Cups, or this is this person returning to you because they've done some kind of work where they're coming to you in a better energy. But I'm seeing this more as you wanting to offer your cup to someone else. You can see that they're both facing the same way, both wearing similar colours, both holding this golden cup with like this light emanating from it. So it's like you've got this cup now. You've figured out what you want in this cup. You've figured out who you want to offer it to. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of emotion here. And you're walking forward. You may not have even seen someone that you want to hand your cup to. You might not even know like a specific person that you want to reach out to yet. It doesn't have to be love. It can be reaching out for a new friendship. Or wanting to express something to somebody who's already in your life. But the page, because this is in your thoughts, this is kind of like figuring out how am I going to do this, making a plan, like gaining a bit more knowledge before you walk forward. But it's passionate and it's emotional. There's something else I wanted to say there, but I've forgotten what it was. What's next? Two of Wands in reverse. This is a decision that's been made, or someone not making a decision. Sorry, it's the Three of Wands. No, it's not the Two of Wands. Three of Wands. This is a sense of waiting for your free ships to come in. Really waiting for something. The decision's been made. The Two of Wands is behind this person and they're holding the one that they've chosen up high. Yeah, very, very confident in your truth about something you're passionate about, ready to step onto the boat and sail that I'm seeing the water is like a new emotional journey for you, a new moving on to something that's going to be more emotionally balanced. You've made your decision, holding the wand high, but with it being in the reverse, it's either like you've done waiting, you're not waiting anymore, you're ready to take action. You're not going to wait for someone to come to you, you're going to move towards them, or that this is just taking forever. Three of Pentacles again. So again, the Three of Pentacles is a card about working with other people, bringing different skills to the table. It's like, but here it's one person working on their own again. So I do get this sense of like leaving some sort of situation that's caused you to have to work on something. You could be working on yourself. They're giving me it's you working on yourself. You're working on yourself, really trying to improve yourself, trying to get some new skills. You may be working with others to kind of learn new skills, and those skills could be anything, but normally Pentacles is something very practical and tangible. They're really drawing me to like the blacksmith, because there's an anvil in the background there. It's really sort of getting kind of grounded in something, learning a new skill. That blacksmith seems important for some reason. They're showing me the Lovers card from this deck again. What's on the underlying? Judgment. They're showing me the Lovers card that's pointing to how Mars and Venus. I did this reading. I can't remember who it came out for now, but Mars and Venus had an affair, and Vulcan, who was Venus's husband, sort of set a trap for them. My heart's going like the clappers now. Chained to that anvil, chained to work. I don't know. Figuring something out though, really figuring something out. I feel like you're really done being patient. If you've been waiting for something to come towards you, it's like I'm not sitting around waiting anymore. I'm done with this temperance energy. I'm going to take action, but I'm figuring out how to do it. And I'm going to put some, while I'm waiting, instead of just sitting around waiting, watching for that ship to come in, I'm going to do some practical work. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work something out. I'm going to gain some extra knowledge. I'm going to build something, but I'm going to build it on my own. I don't know. quite a good energy actually, rather than sitting around waiting. Whoa, story time again. Whoa. This is big. Your future thoughts are huge. Okay, you've got 3 out of 4 of these are major arcana, so this is big. And you've got 2 of the biggest of the big, right? This is like the big players of the major arcana. You've got the World, which is the very last card in the major arcana. It's completing a cycle. It's like you've learned everything you need to learn in a situation. You've done everything you need to do. You've kind of mastered something and you're ready to like move on to something new. Yeah, absolutely. This is like completing some kind of soul lesson. It's like it's really big. I can't emphasize how big this is. And then the Moon card is here, and it's in your heart space and your thoughts. So if there is something unknown or something that you've been keeping hidden, now it's gonna come clear, because you've got the Moon and the Sun. So this is clarity. The Sun is clarity when you get it with the Moon card. Something you don't know, or some kind of secrets, and this is like shining the light on it. How is this light going to come through? It's going to come in the form of communication or action. I think you've been keeping something secret about some kind of cycle completing in your life, some period of your life that you've probably taken part in for a long time. So this is like something, like it's just something that's been in your life for a really long time, and I feel like you are ready to perhaps move away from it. You're looking back at it, but you're ready to like take a new journey. You're ready to move forward. There's some kind of secret here, I feel, that you're going to take action on or communicate, and that's going to bring things into the light. And then the Sun card is, you're the sign that kept getting the Sun card at the end of the journey. When you finish the journey, you get the Sun, and the Sun is the most positive, happiest, absolute best card in the whole of the tarot. Okay, it's absolutely, it's like complete happiness. Leo, you could be connecting with the Leo. We've got a lion here in the Sun card. You got the Moon card as well. This is Pisces. You've got that twice. Sagittarius with Temperance. Aries, is it Aries, Virgo with the Magician? Doesn't have to be any of those signs. I'm just saying them because I know some people like to hear them. It's more to do with the energy that's active in our signs at the moment. They've just spat the Ace of Wands out at me. You do not want Ace of Wands to be spitting at you with the Tower. Some kind of Tower moment, some kind of clarity coming in for you, some kind of realization, something that shook you up, but it's moving you towards something you're passionate about. Passionate new creative project, passionate new love. I don't know. All the Tower moments about to come in for you. Oh my god, look. On the bottom of the deck, a Tower. Yeah, okay. I think the Tower moments happened. I think it's some kind of... It could have been an event, but something that's triggered it, like a huge light bulb moment for you, a huge moment of realization. Because I feel like this was caused by the Tower. You know, that siren's call, whatever that was for you, and my heart's going again. It's like someone's got a string around my heart and they're going, and I get it it kind of comes when I'm on the ball, like when I'm onto something, when I'm on the right track, when I've said something that's kind of right on the money. Right, okay, at least I think it's like a confirmation that I'm right, and it's something emotional. Action space, the Sun. I'm going to get a clarifier on it. You've got the Sun at the start of the reading and the end of the reading. Beautiful. You're taking action towards your happiness. That's all I've got to say. Yeah, absolutely. Cutting something out because you're taking action towards your happiness. Seeing something really, really clearly. Yeah, absolutely. Freedom, they're telling me. Okay, current action space, please, for Cappy. Current action space, please, for Cappy. Yeah, you're moving on. You've left something behind and you're moving on to calmer waters. Absolutely. Like I said, ready to sail. They're telling me, sail the seas. You keep getting pirate things. Yeah, they're showing me an eye patch now. Sail the seas. Move on to calmer waters. Going with the flow. Seeing where life takes you. You've given control to the universe. That's what you've done. You've moved away from something that was controlling. I'm thinking about that, like what I was saying with that Devil card, and something from your past that was very, very controlling. And it might not even be that you've moved away. If this was like problems with your parents, it might be like, I'm still going to be in touch with my parents, I'm still going to go around for Christmas dinner, right? But I've separated myself emotionally and mentally from the things that they've conditioned you in. You've been able to see things, like taking a step back from your life and being able to look at something objectively and say, they're telling me imposter syndrome. So it may be that you were told you weren't good enough, or you had someone who's like, they're telling me critical mother possibly, but someone who is like around you and they're criticizing you. And it may be that they were doing this from a place where they were trying to help you, right? They may have been like, oh, I can see a better way of doing that thing that you're doing. But what they don't realise is that's actually a criticism of the what you've chosen to do. So there's some kind of hurt that imposter syndrome, yeah. There's some kind of there's something that you've kind of grown up with, I'm seeing this as, because you've got this child here as well. This child's kind of like seeing the light about your childhood. And it doesn't mean your parents are bad parents or the people around you are bad people, right? It just means that they're doing the best that they can. But the best that they can has, there's something there that's caused this kind of insecurity. That's what it is, some kind of insecurity, these feelings of not being good enough, not being worthy. But you realise now that that's something to do with them and their upbringing and their belief systems. And actually, you've done this work where you've really dived deep into yourself, deep into your emotions, deep into your soul, and you've figured out who you are. And I think you like yourself. I think that you really do like what you found there, and you've accepted yourself. And now, so you're moving away from the things that would cause you pain in the past and cause you quite like this kind of like with the swords. It's kind of like thinking you're not good enough, right? It cause these thoughts of doubt. Yeah, I've not got long left. I've got about 10 minutes left. Yeah, you can look at it objectively now. You know, these swords, it's not like the Four of Swords where like she's lying in bed, she can't move, and these swords are like hanging over her, like the swords of Damocles kind of thing, waiting to fall. This anxiety. It's like, no, like I'm not under those thoughts. I'm sat looking at them for what they are. I can see them clearly. I can carry them, but I don't have to be burdened by them. I can move with those. They've not gone. Those thoughts are still there, but you're able to move with them now. Okay, thank you. Lots of intuitive messages there. Cappy. I think you're going to be happy. This is like my new little thing that I like to say. Okay, future action space. Knight of Swords and Queen of Cups. So these could both be you. They could neither be you. They could be two people around you. They could be the same person. Take it as it resonates. So the Knight of Swords is a card. Sorry, my nose is clicking like nobody's business again. It only happens during readings. I don't know if it's because I talk for such a long extended time. I don't know if it changes something in my nose, but clicky nose. So Knight of Swords. This is someone really rushing in to either take action or communicate something, some kind of news. You've got that actually. You've got in your thoughts. There's thoughts about communication or taking action, and it's manifesting actually in your action space. So this could be you taking action, could be you sort of speaking a truth, carrying some news, or this could be coming in towards you. It could be two-way because these ones are facing forwards and this knight is facing backwards. A lot of passion here though. You may be quite fired up about whatever this is that is being communicated. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is someone who is you've actually, I just want to say these two cards, these are some of the, sorry about that siren noise. These two cards are some of the like fast action, swift communication. They really are like actually doing something. Like the Chariot card as well is like a card about action and things, but they're kind of, you've got these two cards that are kind of the most action based cards in the tarot. So something you're taking action on in regards to your happiness. The Queen of Cups, someone who's very, very loving, nurturing. They've got a lot of emotional control. Again, you can see that she's not in her emotions. It's like you've sailed somewhere new, and now this is like a new land for you, a new place to explore, and a new emotional place to explore. You can see she's very calm. She's very patient. She's got a foot on that rock, showing how grounded she is. She's got full control of her emotions. There may be clouds in the sky. There may be a few things that she's not seeing, but she's not letting the the unknown worry her anymore. She's not burdened by the unknown. She knows what her spiritual truth is. I'm getting a lot of intuitive messages today. Yeah, very, very grounded, patient, loving, expresses that love. You know, she'll, if she likes a person, if she sees someone in a good light, she's going to go and tell them. Doesn't even have to be love. It can just be like, you know, you did a really good job there. You know, I like the way you did that today. You know, I think you're really funny. You know, whatever it is that she's telling people, she's quite happy to express the way she feels about people, and she's very calm and measured when she does it. Pearls of wisdom. She may have pearls of wisdom. She's like sat in that oyster shell there. And it's almost like she's left this trail of breadcrumbs. So you could be moving towards this person, following this trail of breadcrumbs. Or this is you like leaving out a trail of breadcrumbs. Like, if you want it, come and get it. You know, that kind of thing. But what somebody's taking action and somebody's kind of sitting there being very, very grounded. Right, cool. I don't have very long left, so I'm only going to clarify one or two things. I want to clarify what this sun is in your past action space. The moon, the sun and the moon. You taking action to shine light onto a situation where there's been some kind of secrets. You've got the sun and the moon. No. They're telling me what it is. Sun and moon. It's yin yang. There's two trees here. I really feel like you're either balancing yourself, you're balancing the two sides of yourself, yin yang energy, the sun and the moon, the light side and the dark side, or the day and the night, they're telling me. Yeah, you're balancing out both sides of yourself. You're accepting. That's what it is. You're accepting both sides of yourself. I was talking before about being raised to believe certain things about sexuality, and I feel like in modern times, you know, as we get older, those things change, attitudes change, and the things that perhaps we were told in childhood. What was I told? I was told like I should, you know, to like kind of charm people from a very early age. I remember being like, you know, smile sweetly and they'll give you sweets, this kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know, like little girls should be seen and not heard. And this isn't from my parents, but it's from people who were around me. I remember these kind of like, yeah, you shouldn't wear that makeup. All this kind of stuff that people tell you. I think my parents have always been quite open people. They're like, do what you want, you know, like be yourself. But like other people around you, yeah, or judging you, feeling that judgment for some of the choices that you make. And I think this is you kind of, the darker thoughts that you have, the more base impulses that you have, not being shamed by them anymore, but being like, they are what they are. It doesn't mean I have to act on something. It doesn't mean I have to be ashamed of something. It's there. It is what it is, and I accept that about myself. And I'm going to stand in my light. It's, yeah, balancing it out. Why is the Six of Swords here? Oh, Nine of Swords. Yeah, so you're leaving something behind that was like a really painful journey for you. This is like anxiety. You can see how disgusting this card is. This is like anxiety, mental conflict. What's this? 5, 6, 7. So this is standing up for yourself, being defensive about something. The Six of Cups, balancing two sides of yourself. Something that was heartache for you there, but it's leading you towards your Two of Cups. That's what you're traveling towards. Okay, so let's leave all this other, like the heartbreak and the anxiety and the pain behind. Okay, that's what you're leaving behind, and you're moving towards your Two of Cups. Relationships in your life that are balanced, that are equal, that are fair. Oh, I want this Six of Cups as well. Equal give and take. Again, the Six of Cups can be about nostalgia for childhood. So you've taking the good stuff forwards, leaving the bad stuff behind. Anything else I want to clarify? What's that moon doing in your future heart space, please? The Eight of Swords, feeling trapped. Yeah, wow. Okay, and didn't I say it was like emerging from a cocoon? Okay, it's like your heart is emerging from this cocoon where you've done some kind of healing work. There's been some kind of transformation in your heart space. You're emerging from it, but you're still feeling really, really trapped there by like, you know, the heavy dress, the it's like this butterfly, when it unfurls its wings, its wings are still really delicate. So you're still in this place where you're feeling a little bit delicate, you're feeling a little bit vulnerable, you're scared of like things hurting you when you start to reveal your true self, when you start to spread your wings. Right, so I'm going to get your advice card, Ace of Swords, some kind of truth, and it's an eternal truth. What am I missing from there? Why am I missing this deck? What's here? It showed me the Page of Cups again, Knight of Wands. Yeah, knowing your truth, being passionate about it, taking action on it, going racing in. Very, very quickly, because I've only got a couple of minutes left. What needs to change for you? And the reading cut short. Oh, it's giving me another few minutes. Look at that. As I said, I've not got much time left. Seeing the Two of Cups, seeing the Phoenix. Whoa, and unbelievably, look what's fallen out, and Liz looking at me again, that card there. Yeah, you're moving towards your happiness. You're moving towards people who feel like they're your soul tribe, who feel like they bring you a lot of comfort and joy, that you like spending time with, that you just feel happy when you're around them. The Moon card, this needs to change. Secrets, things that are unknown, this is what needs to change. Oh, hi. Hello there, lady. This card, I was looking at it the other day, and it's like, this is the siren, right? This is what you've left behind, that siren's call. It's like she's offering you something that looks like light, but it's actually poison. I feel like that's the siren. You've leaving her behind. Sitting with someone who feels like you're equal. Looking up at the things, the secrets, the things that are unknown, the masks that people wear. I feel like needing to see them clearly. And then I've seen this crab as like, it's like you've sent this person packing, right? It's like this person was like trying to look like some kind of beautiful woman, trying to tempt you in, but she was actually, you know, just a sea monster, and you sent her packing. She's moving away, and now you're with the person or the people that are your equal. Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands there. You've got that wand hanging around. There's something you're passionate and that you're moving towards. Passionate about and moving towards. Bottom of the deck is the Oracle of Delphi. Again, you may be like seeking out spiritual advice. Am I your Oracle of Delphi? King of Scrolls, he's popped out again. So I did see him before at the bottom of the reading, at the bottom of the deck when I started the reading. Words, words, words. It's because I'm trying to rush. Don't rush things that are important. There's a message for someone there. King of Scrolls. Let's find out what this has to say for us. So this is your advice, Cappy, so take note. The King of Scrolls. A man holds a scroll as he looks across a well-groomed garden. Well, you know, you've got to groom your garden. A number of scrolls lay on the garden bench next to him. He is the King of Scrolls, a man of learning, and he can be helpful to you in a number of ways. The man may be present in your life already. If not, you'll be meeting him soon. He may be an author, teacher, or communicator who will assist you in some professional way. He could also be a friend who brings wisdom through his own studies and spiritual practices. Be open to the guidance this man offers, for it could lead your life in exciting new directions. As with any of the kings and queens, the King of Scrolls may be a new love interest for you or for another, depending on his location in the spread. His wisdom is compelling, and there are likely to be many interesting and lively discussions. This card may also represent you, or someone you know, who is longing for a deeper understanding and greater clarity of thought. Bingo! Now is the time to pursue new interests, perhaps even enroll in some class or attend a lecture or two. A position in teaching, counselling, advertising, writing, publishing, or the like may be on the agenda now. A treasure trove of discovery is waiting for you. So, let your mind and your life soar. Treasure trove. Didn't I say that you were seeking some kind of treasure at the beginning of the reading? And we kept on getting all that pirate business. King of Scrolls, he's a pirate on the 7 seas. So here you go. You can pause this if you want to take a screenshot, or you want to come back to it, or just pause it, read through it a couple of times so that you really, really get that advice. There you go. I hope that was helpful to you. Sorry it's such a long reading. There was quite a lot to unpack there. I know that I'm going to have to rewatch that reading and go back over it because, yeah, definitely a lot there. I do hope it was helpful for you, though. I hope it brought you some kind of new ideas, new ways of looking at things, a bit of clarity, or that you just enjoyed the reading. If you're still with me, thank you for being with me this long. Well done for not falling asleep. Take care, Cappy. Go and make yourself happy. Bye.